What's up guys, Craighton here from LogicLounge.com. I want to preface this video with a short side note. You may have noticed about the title of this video that we're going to be pretty much bashing iOS 7. Now I want to make clear to you that this is an intentional effort to bash iOS 7 by being overly critical and overly analyzing of all of the features of iOS 7. This video was made explicitly to do this. These are not my personal opinions, no, these are the opinions that I've seen around the internet. These are the opinions that have been generally accepted among the communities with the problems and oversights of iOS 7. So once again, I want to make that clear. This has nothing to do with my personal opinions about iOS 7, just how the world sees iOS 7 in a bad light. So without further ado, this is why iOS 7 sucks. Now, as I may have said at the beginning of this video, we have compiled a huge list of why iOS 7 sucks. It's right here. I'll be reading off of it. I want to let you know once again that these are not the opinions of LogicLounge nor myself. These are the opinions that we've seen around the internet that generally depict what people think of iOS 7. Now, this video is meant to be overly critical on a lot of points. So once again, not my opinions, not LogicLounge's opinions, but the general consensus of people who do not like iOS 7. So let's get started with our list, which the first one is the flat UI. A lot of people have complained about the user interface, saying that it doesn't look as good as iOS 6 and before with that glossy interface, the way the icons popped off the screen, the ability to really have a depth of the phone. And I hope you mean the depth of, you know what I mean, the depth of the phone. When looking at the phone, you can kind of tell those rounded edges, the shadows. It looks like it has depth, where in iOS 7 it does not. It looks more of a flat interface. A lot of people are complaining about that. Other complainings are unnecessary movements. For example, when you're swiping to unlock, this comes from more of Android users. Usually on an Android phone, once you wake it up, you're easily able to access either your passcode or the unlock with swiping your finger. Well, that isn't the case with iOS 7, nor is it the case with iOS. You have to swipe to unlock before you can enter in your passcode or get to the home screen. So a lot of people are complaining about that, as well as that zooming in and out effect. When you're opening and closing apps, you see the apps coming in and out and in and out. And a lot of people who may not have the best of stomachs can kind of get a little bit of seasickness from that, seeing those apps zoom right into your face and back out again. And that is another huge thing that we have found with iOS 7 that a lot of people are complaining about. The other thing is swiping down for Spotlight and for the notification center. So on iOS 7, you have the ability now to have swiping down for both the notification center and for swiping down to Spotlight. If you aren't careful, you could accidentally open up one or the other. So if you're trying to open up Spotlight, you want to swipe down, you might open up Notification Center. And if you want to get Notification Center, you might open up Spotlight. And that can get quite confusing and a little bit tedious with having to make sure that you're swiping down the right screen when you're trying to get to the correct one that you want. That has been another huge thing that we have found through this. And a lot of people are talking about reduced battery life with iOS 7. And this is the main culprit of that background app refresh feature, where it automatically goes out, finds app updates, and updates your applications automatically, instead of the old system, which was to go into the App Store, check for updates, and then update your applications. We now see it where it's trying to update in the background, thus taking up more of your data and more of your battery life, leading to that effect that you don't have a lot of battery life with your phones, unless you do recharge it multiple times throughout the day. So a lot of iOS is gesture-based. You swipe to the left, swipe to the right, to unlock, to go back, to do a lot of these things. And Apple has been great with integrating a lot of gestures. There's just one gesture that a lot of people still want to see, but have not seen anything yet, and that is a gesture to get back to the home button. A lot of people are complaining because I can gesture everything else, why can't I gesture going back to the home? Now, of course, this does work on iPads, but on iPhones, where the majority of the users are, they still want some type of feature like this so they can get back to that home screen without moving their thumb down to that home button to go right back home. We've also seen complaints about the icons looking completely terrible, and I mean completely terrible. A lot of people say they look childish, they look like toys, they look like it's being remedial. It looks like they weren't developed fully in those gradients. They just, well, plainly suck. So a lot of the huge thing is when you're looking at the iPhone is the icons. And if the icons don't look good when you're looking at a phone and you have to stare at them all the time, well, people are probably going to get pissed off about that. We've also seen Siri being spotty at times. I know I've had personal experience with this, where Siri will sometimes come back to you, and a lot of times recently, Siri has been coming back to us saying that it's unavailable at this time, and Siri has seemed to be down more often than not. So for people wanting to use voice activation and all the features that Siri can offer, well, they can't because it's down or can't process their request and stays in this little processing hold until it can finally figure out what you want. The other thing is that you can't close applications fast with the new mission control or center or whatever you want to call it, the new app preview. It's a little bit harder to start closing all of the applications. And a lot of people open up multiple applications, forget to close them, and then when they want to close them, well, they have an issue having to swipe up and up and up and up and up to get those applications to go away. Whereas with iOS 6, there was that red X button and you could easily close your applications really fast and really simple. So that time has been extended to be more extensive and time-consuming than we have seen with iOS 6. The other thing is that there's still no setting for default applications. I know I love to use Google Chrome on iOS 7. Well, I can't really use it that much when I'm clicking links in Mail or I'm clicking links at all. In general, it defaults to Safari, and I'm not saying I'm against Safari, but a lot of people do like using the Google Chrome mobile application over using the Safari application. So it'd still be nice to see Apple integrate the default applications setting in there so that you can set your default browser, your default mail app, your default music app, stuff like that. That is one huge thing that would put Apple ahead of everything else, but yet they still, well, they really don't do it. And probably one of the biggest things, probably one of the most complained about things is intuitiveness. I have seen this complaint over and over and over again when searching online for iOS 7, is that the intuitiveness of iOS 7 has gone down, really down. A lot of people are saying that they're learning basically a new operating system all over again, while Apple claims that it is just like iOS 6. You can still get to the same menus and everything. A lot of people have been complaining about the intuitiveness of iOS 7 and being able to find applications, being able to interpret icons, being able to interpret a lot of things that Apple thinks you should, but you can't really. So that is a huge, major complaint that has been coming out from Apple. And the biggest thing, the overall factor when it comes into why iOS 7 sucks, has got to be that Apple, and a lot of people have been claiming this, Apple has forgotten about usability and gone all for design. They've forgotten about their users. They've forgotten about how to make a good, usable experience and have opted for more of a design-focused operating system. So there you guys go. Why iOS 7 sucks. Leave your comments down below, whether you think iOS 7 sucks or doesn't suck. Let me know what you think. If you have any particular troubles with iOS 7, let us know in those comment sections down below. Maybe there'll be some help for you and just a nice way to vent and complain about iOS 7. So be sure to leave those comments down below. Be sure to hit that like button, that share button, that subscribe button, all of those buttons that help us out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to look out for that Why Android Sucks video because, of course, we want to be fair. We want it to be even, so we'll do this for the other operating systems as well. We just wanted to put this video out there to get us rolling with that. So thank you guys so much for watching. And once again, my name is Craighton Miller, and we'll see you guys in our next video.